Welcome. Today, our guest is Mardale Ewing, and we are talking about Mardale's life, experiences, as well as being an RCC student here at Riverside City College. Mardale, thank you for being here today, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate that you have lent us this opportunity to interview a student from Riverside City College who can give us an perspective from a student.
Right.
As you guys seen in other clips, it's been faculty members or other counselors. But today we have Mardale, and I'm really happy that he visited us today to give us this interview. So obviously I have a couple questions, right? As
Absolutely.
an interview.
I'm ready for
So give me an idea of what was Mardale's life as a kid? Like, take me back, I mean, really quick. You're about what, 35, 40? Where were you at?
Thanks for the compliment.
Right?
I'm 41 years
So
old.
let's go 15, 20 years ago.
15, 20 years ago.
So where were you, man? As a kid, teenager?
Yeah. What was not thinking about what I'm thinking about today, right?
Okay.
Was pretty much going down the wrong path.
Okay.
Not too deep, but deep enough where, a troubled child, put it that way.
Okay.
One of the best things that ever happened that I did for myself was coming here, and things like your program,
Right.
and things of that nature has just really been a blessing.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
that. Because that's our goal, right? Here at Riverside City College is provide resources for you guys.
Right.
No matter where you're at in life, But let's go to high school. So
Okay.
you're at high school. Are you thinking about college?
No.
Is something of that like, I got to hit up college?
No.
Okay.
If I could tell you all the way back to high school, I didn't
Yeah.
even graduate high school.
Okay.
Right. So I stopped school after, of course, continuation and things of that nature. I stopped school, I want to say midway through the 10th grade.
Okay.
Right. Never thought about going back. Eventually did get a GED.
Okay.
I started having thoughts of going to college, but never really put it together like that up until recent. This is my third time back at college, but this is the most serious time I have in college. And
So it sounds like it wasn't just the first time where college came an idea. It kind of took you a couple times to kind of understand what college life is about. The first time in college, though, how old were you?
26.
Okay.
26.
Okay. Then was the second time like right after, like the back of that, like 2-3 years later, or they took some time to come back?
About 10 years later.
Oh, wow.
About 10 years later, and it was just to get a certificate.
Okay.
I was one of those people where I want to get in and get out. I didn't want to put the time in, and put the effort into doing all of that work. But now I realize the value in that.
Yeah. So the third time comes around, a little bit more older, more mature.
Wiser.
You say, okay, I got to get it together.
Right.
Right. So, but thinking about the responsibilities that after the third time, right? Probably dad, husband, like there's more responsibilities than when you were 21, probably,
Absolutely.
or even 16, and going through life, right?
Right.
So having that in mind, so now you're here at Riverside City College. Did you come back thinking certificate again, or was it more like, hey, I got to get an associate's degree and possibly transfer out? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, when I came back this time, it was more serious.
Okay.
It was more, I have to do this all the way. I came back with the idea of getting a minimum associate's degree, right? But with the goal of having at least a master's degree. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I want our viewers to understand, that it's not the first time you come and everything is perfect. You have to go through trial and error, and Mardale's an experienced here student that says, hey, first time probably didn't work, second time probably didn't work, but the third time, we got to get this. So coming to college, I think you were at a rough spot because that's when COVID hit.
Right.
So it's not like you came to RCC campus, went to the bookstore, and checked out the cafeteria, the resources. It was more like, hey, we're going online. How did that? What was your experience with COVID, man?
It was such an interesting way of learning how to learn. Because you really had to learn how to learn.
Yeah,
I didn't have a professor in my face going over things with me. I didn't have class students that I'm interacting with and getting the knowledge from each other.
Okay.
they gave you a curriculum. It turned out good. I learned how to do it, but it was different. It took a little while to get used to. You know.
So when you heard about the programs, EOPS, you know, shout out to my EOPS family out there. How was that experience? Did you just say, hey, I'm going to go EOPS? All right, might as well see what these people have to offer. Like, how did that come about, coming to EOPS?
You know, I've always known about EOPS from my first experiences. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be a part of EOPS and be and take all the resources they have to offer.
Okay.
You know, because they're really a valuable. Anybody listening out there, that's really a valuable tool to have in your back pocket. You know.
So when we first met, do you remember the first time we met?
I do.
How was that? How was that moment, man, where you see this Latino guy on the other side of the screen,
Right.
you know, y'all get your stuff together. Let's figure this out together, right?
Right.
How was your experience from that side of the screen, right? Looking on this side.
That was the biggest blessing ever.
Oh, okay.
And my first thoughts was, oh my God, somebody actually gets it. Somebody who where I'm going is somebody, you know, he knows where I've been.
Okay.
We talk about this all the time in our mail meetings,
Yes.
and just the support, you know, was beautiful.
Yeah. And just a shout out right there, Mardell. We meet once a month, EOPS. We meet once a month. Male students get together, and we really talk about life, to be honest, we do. And we even had discussion where we all disagreed.
Right.
You know?
We agreed to disagree.
But we're like, hey, that's part of, you know, coming to college is being a critical thinker. You know, not everyone's going to think the same. And maybe you need to hear someone else's opinion to learn from them. So I appreciate, man, because I honestly, when I was thinking of a student, your name was the first thing that popped in my mind.
Oh, wow.
Gotta get Mardell.
Wow.
Because you are the student that we know it's here, but we don't see them sometimes.
Right.
But I want the viewers to know that we serve everybody, man. And no matter what background you may come from, no matter what experience you're going to have, RCC offers male mentoring support. Why? Because it's what I believe in, is providing support. And it just makes me happy, man, that I was some sort of connection, that you were like, okay, once a month, chit-chat with this guy. He must know something I don't know, and he's going to help me out. So with that process, though, I know in the male mentoring, we talk about transferring, like what's your goal? What's going to be the next plan? I know we talked about a couple of nights ago that you are planning to transfer out.
Right.
So what are the schools again that you applied for?
It was Dominguez Hills, CBU, and San Bernardino.
Okay, nice.
Right.
So thinking about that transferring process, because we're thinking about life, right? What has
Right.
changed? Kids, you know, marriage.
Right.
Have you thought about how that's going to be man, I'm going to go to a Cal State now, but I still have these responsibilities. How you balance that, man?
Very carefully.
Okay.
You know, I have a great support system, and my wife, she's very supportive of everything that I do. So if I have to like kind of fall back a little bit here, she'll pick up that slack while I'm doing what I'm doing for our family's future.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's a good balance where you guys know what you're both sacrificing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we forget, right? When we're at work, and you're going to school, when your wife might come home tired and exhausted, like, I'm tired, right? But at the same time, she understands that there's a bigger goal here. It's where you're setting yourself for a better financial future. And I think at the end of the day, it feels good, you know, going to Cal State, graduate, and looking forward to a master's program. And the craziest thing, Mardell, is that there's going to come a day that you're going to be on this seat. That's the craziest thing about this. That one day you're going to be mentoring other young men and saying, hey, I've been through it. This is the answer to the test, if you want it. You know, because at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Is I was on that screen that day. You had questions. We talked. And we follow through.
Right.
I think that's one of the challenges as a student. So it just makes me happy that as a student, you're following through. Getting your certificate, associate's degree, and now you're transferring. So you talk about your wife. Let's be honest at the end of the day.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Because we forget that is an important part of our lives.
Right.
Right? It's understanding their contribution to the family. So what How was your relationship with your wife help you be a better student?
Um, the support of being given the time to actually put the grind down and sit in class and do tests and things of that nature. Um, I think that's the biggest one. That's definitely the biggest one. You know, it's hard. You know, not hard. It's not impossible, but it is difficult to you know, you go to work. You know, you do your family, you do the kids, you do everything else, you do your marriage, but you know, it's hard to find that balance, you know, that time. And so when you have somebody that's really supportive of, you know, what you, they know what you got going on, and you do the same in return for them, you know, it's beneficial.
So I'm gonna throw a little quick one here. Talk about your wife, how supportive she is. What about other females in your life? Have they been supportive? Have they been where you feel that, like, hey, I've seen this before, and you feel like your wife just adds more to that?
No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't say that nobody's not supportive, but no, that's the main one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, because sometimes we relate to other experiences where we don't see something like that, right? That support. So it's like, oh my goodness, this is a great support. This can help me out. So, but now wife, now kids, man. What's with kids? How do you balance that? I know, because tell us a little bit about your kids, man, and what you know has transpired with children in your home.
Okay, so I have 3 biological children. I have 5 boys total. Yeah,
5 boys.
5 boys total. 17, 15, 13 are my biological. My bonus kids are 9 and 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Sometimes I get that wrong. The ages.
Yeah.
But you know, to me, they're just like the best. You know, like I enjoy, you know, watching them run around and that energy and everything like that. You know, yeah, I wouldn't want it any other way.
So it inspires me just the way you say you got 3 biological kids. So the other 2 kids, do you foster them? Do they just live with you?
No, these are my bonus kids through marriage.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I would like you guys to, my viewers, to understand that things happen in life, right? Decisions have been made, but the good thing is, as a college student, he still keeps that vision. Gotta get my education. Gotta get my education. Because at the end of the day, I know they're seeing it.
Right.
You know, and they're gonna grow up and say, "Hey, how come you're to college school? My pop went." That's simple.
Right.
You know, and we hope that is their answer. Where, hey, my dad did it. I'm following through with his steps. So, but one of the things too, Mardell, I want to ask you today is, what has been your experience when attending that once a month male mentoring get together, man? What has really, like, do you look forward to it? Is it more like, man, I gotta tune in?
No.
What's that emotion?
I get mad when it's summertime and we can't have male mentoring.
right. A shout out to the people. We gotta do something in summer.
Yeah. Summer and winter, I'm like, something's missing. Something's missing. I love it. I love getting the feel from all the other people.
Yes.
That you know, you bless us to being able to deal with, and hearing from you. This guy here has definitely been inspirational in my college career. That's just for sure. And I look forward to it. It's like so uplifting. I feel like I can get through the month now.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Because sometimes we need that.
Right.
You know, we need to just be amongst other people that we can share and we can relate. That's a big, I think for me it's big. Is to where we want to make that once a month experience. And believe it or not, Mardell, I prep for it. I prep for it. I make sure the topics are there, the pop-up questions, because I want you guys to have that moment of, never thought about that.
Right.
Or, I did think about that, but I never acted on that. Maybe I need to start looking into doing something better. Or, you know, one of the questions we would normally ask is if you had 24 hours, if I gave you 1 more hour a day, how would you do it? And sometimes we never ask that question.
Right.
All we're thinking about, you know, get up, go to sleep, go to eat, go to work. You don't think about if you had that extra hour in life to do something. So, but Mardell, man, I love this interview, man. I really do. I appreciate you coming.
Well,
I appreciate you saying, hey, Mr. Leon will be there. I'm a believer in putting things out there, you know. And like I said, I think one day, you know, 2-3 years from now, when you graduate, you get your bachelor's degree, we can do this again, because this is staying for a minute. I'm telling you guys, this ain't only for one semester. We're doing these podcasts until I'm here, until I decide to, hey, I'm done. But the reality is it's important to understand that we have a purpose here. My purpose at Riverside City College is to support male students as much as possible. And we have an example here. And one day, Mardell, like I said, I can't wait to bring you back.
I can't wait.
Get your graduation picture. We'll show it right here. And then when you get your master's.
Absolutely. I plan on doing both in psychology.
Yes.
I want to help people. Of course, mental health is huge right now. We just had this conversation not too long ago. And also people who have substance abuse issues, things of that nature. I feel like there's a lot more of it prevalent these days that I would like to help out with that. Maybe help, counsel people to getting back on this side, if you will.
Good. So in the future, we're seeing you in an office. We're seeing you in a school setting.
Everywhere.
Where are we? Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay.
The prisons, the schools. I mean, get it where it matters. I want to get a hold of getting people in going to the right direction. As far as if they can't help themselves, I want to be that person to help them.
Right. And I like how Mardell says that it's the right direction, but maybe the right direction for that individual. I think that's a lot of our challenges, is that we expect that all men are the same, and we're not. We all have our challenges, and I think it's inspiring, Mardell, to really, follow through with that. Master's degree in counseling, and possibly even therapy, where you may help other men figure out where the struggles may be. Because that's one of the things that challenges us, right? Is asking for help.
Right.
When we do need it.
Right.
I've learned, it doesn't matter what your experiences are, it doesn't matter what you're going through, we all have something to deal with. And learning to talk about it, not to get an answer. But just to say, hey, man, do you experience it? Yeah, bro, that was me 10 years ago. Oh, hey, how did you deal with it? It's like, I try to explain to a lot of people, it's like when I used to go play hoop, right, play ball. It's funny how it would work. We would have a good 2-hour, game, and after all, we're all sit down and talking, and we're chit-chatting about everything.
Right.
About our kids, about our marriage, about finances, and it just throws me back to where could we bring that to community college where you can have that conversation. And I think you having a master's degree will allow that, to have those real conversations with other young men in the future, and even challenging them. So one of the things that, we talked about, and you told me, hey, Mr. De Leon, I might have a question for you. You feel too comfortable asking us all these questions, and I kind of want to share a question towards you. Would I be able to do that? I said, yeah, Mardell. Hey, do you, man? What kind of question you have? So, Mardell, what question do you have for me that I can answer?
Where does your inspiration come from?
Okay.
Can I give you a little backstory? I can do all that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this gentleman is really great at, bringing those questions to us, right? When we do our mail thing,
right.
and just really making you think and open your mind and like, where do you get the drive and the inspiration for that?
You know what, Mardell? The inspiration I get is from my own personal day in and day out relationship with God, to be honest with you, Mardell. At the end of the day, when I get in my car and I'm driving to RCC, as soon as I get off the car, I do a little prayer, and remind him that I'm not perfect. I got problems of my own. I got challenges of my own. But at the end of the day, there's a student that probably has it worse. So I remind myself, that I do rely on the higher power, right? I rely on my personal belief, and I want to be that person to the students. And then one of the biggest things for me is it's my pop, man. My dad. Mm-hmm. My dad always, I'm always like, Dad, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, blah. I'm like juicing myself.
Right.
And my dad comes here like just a balloon, right? And he just pops it and reminds me, hey, you're not doing it by yourself.
Right.
Remember who's really helping you. Don't forget God. Don't forget your family. Don't forget your kids, your wife. So when I think about that, Mardell, I say, okay, if I'm 19, I have no father, I have probably in and out mom, I have 2 kids, and found out that one is coming. What do I want to tell that young man and inspire him to, hey, it's gonna be okay. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. And then it's kind of interesting when you say, hey, Mr. Leon, how do you come up with these questions? Believe it or not, Mardell, I think about those questions. You know, I know one of them was, I think the first one was, if you can go back in time, what famous person would you like to have a conversation with?
I remember that.
And you may say, I never thought about that. And I go back to that because I think about my ancestors. I think about my grandmother, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. Right. We're from Guatemala, man. Coming to America was probably the last thing in their mind. Like, hey, you're going to go up to America and be a counselor at a community college. That's not going to work, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think about my ancestors. Mm. I think about being around that table and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, because they paved the way, somehow. So I think about them, and I think about my legacy. I think a lot about my legacy. Mm-hmm. And Mardell, I'm telling you, I'm 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I need you back here, brother.
You got it.
Because in 100 years from now, my great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to come to Riverside City College, open up that catalog, 2021, 2022, Jairo de Leon, Master's in Counseling, EOPS counselor. That's a legacy for me. So when my children come back, my great-great-great-grandchildren, hey, that's granddaddy right there.
Right.
That's what I want to leave.
Right.
So I want to have that same feeling, the same energy for you guys to do for yourselves. So when someone says, who's Mardell? Hold on, let's look. Oh, yeah, that's my great-grandfather right there. He got a master's from, he got a master's from that. And he opened his own therapy place. And he helped all these people. Wow, that inspires the next generation.
Right.
So I appreciate the question, Mardell, because that's actually a good one. I really didn't think about those things, but truly, it comes from my heart. I care about our viewers. I care about people that may be inspired by Mardell as a student here at Riverside City College. Because I think they see me, Mardell, and they're like, oh, man, he's cool. He got it all set. He got his office. He's cool. Right. And we forget the actual students, man. And I want to bring this to where the viewers can see, if Mardell can do it, we can do it too, man. Right. You know, and believe it or not, there's people that look like us, man. And it's just our time to go up to bat. Right. And we're hitting a home run. And once again, I appreciate you, man. I really do. You're hitting this home run today from Riverside City College, Mardell Ewing. I thank you, viewers, for watching today. I'm excited that you guys are going to be able to watch Mardell. Please subscribe. And let us know your thoughts. Have a wonderful day. You guys take care.